So before we start at my house this week, I've come to Colin's house. I'm just going to come down this grass bank without falling over. There we go, done that. Hello. Colin is on his way here. He is leaving the UK this week. He's packed all his furniture, put it in a van, and him and a guy called Dave, who's Scottish, are driving over here across Europe. And we've been getting regular reports from him. He's been coming across through France and Belgium and Luxembourg, and really I've lost track. I don't know where they were last. Austria. Anyway, reported now that they are in Romania, which is only just over the river from here, so we've come to get the house ready. Doesn't involve very much actually. Put the electric on, put the water on, and Colin's asked me to do a couple of preparations which he wants to keep secret from his wife, but I've done that for him. So anyway, we'll meet up with Colin no doubt a little later, and we're going to leave him to settle in first when the van arrives. So it might not be this week that we actually talk to him, it might be next week. But nevertheless, he's moving here from Chester in the UK, and this is Oresh in Bulgaria, and this is where he's going to live. And I've got a house just the other side of the valley there, and we're going to go over there now and see how they're getting on with the refurb. So we're starting this week with finishing off around the doorways and making sure the lintels are in and set. A bit of plastering goes on, and in the living room Stefan is starting on the living room floor and filling it in with concrete. Finishing has also been done around the living room opening, and they're mixing all this stuff outside in the heat. It really is hot outside, but a lot cooler inside, so Stefan's got the favourite job at the moment. The lintels for the patio door, huge chunks of wood arrive along with some other timber, and we get an idea of just how big this thing's going to be. On Tuesday, Eric is finishing some block work in the bathroom, and Stefan finishes the living room floor before plastering out some doorways. Colin and Susanna have arrived after their 3-day trek across Europe in a white Citroen van, which is now backing up to try and get itself positioned to go to Colin's house through the neighbour's house. Sasha isn't in, so we just assume we can do this. You're looking at Sasha's house here, and until I took the drone up, I didn't realise that he had this huge area of flat roof, and some of his goats are to be found up there. So we have to get over his house to see where the van's coming in, because it's coming in behind through his little yard where, again, there are some animals, including a horse and some cows and a lot of goats. So let's peek over the trees, and you should be able to see the van just arriving and getting as close to Colin's house as possible, where a team of people are waiting to unload for them.
brief look round Sasha's yard and then we start the van unloading. The light items are all at the back because obviously when they loaded it all up in Chester they put the big heavy things in first and then packed small things all around them. So you'll just see the little bits at first and then you'll see some really heavy furniture coming out. Bulgarian houses in general don't have inside staircases. They have these steps going up the outside and a separate entrance to the first floor. So anything that's for upstairs has to be taken in this way. Although to be fair, the only other way up inside is in a spiral staircase, which is more like a ladder, and you wouldn't stand a chance of getting any of this in that way. Susanna has spotted Sasha, the neighbour. He's just down the lane there, walking one of his cows. He doesn't seem at all perturbed that we've come across his property with a van and are carrying all this stuff about. We leave the heaviest item till last, and this desk, a computer desk with printer stand and everything all built into it, I had custom designed for myself a couple of decades ago by a joiner from the Wirral, and when I no longer had big desktop computers, I was wanting to get rid of this, and Colin decided he'd like it, and he liked it that much he's dragged it all the way across Europe and brought it to his house in Bulgaria. And so as our van driver Dave carefully turns his long van round in the farmyard, tries not to run over any animals, he heads off, having left Colin with most of his stuff from the UK. Anyway, for now, we're going back to the little house in Oresh. Wednesday, and Stefan is filling the doorways, Terry is pointing, and on Thursday the kitchen window gets bricked up to its new level. The original kitchen window was far too low down and you couldn't put kitchen units in front of it, so that's been changed, bricked up, and the kitchen floor is finished at the same time. On Friday, the bricked up window is plastered and the front entrance floor is concreted. It ends the week with exit from the front door and the last bit of concrete going down.
So inside and outside the work's going on, mixing more concrete here, or render. If I was a builder I might know which that was, but the mixing goes on outside, and inside they're taking up floors and things. But we did actually finish with the flooring being done for the living room, which extends right to what the new, the ground's not level here, where the new front door is just at the top of the steps. And we ended up, you've probably heard the expression, paint yourself in a corner, or don't. Don't concrete yourself in a corner is the lesson here. So you'll notice that when the floor in the living room was finished, it came right out to that front door there, and that was the last point. And then you walk away and let it dry. So it's now all dry, and we can go in and see what's next.